Hello, everyone. It's Butter Bob. And after yesterday, I just had to come on and make a little short video about how much my heart is touched by what all of y'all have said and done since I posted that wonderful little song yesterday. You know, to Gary and Michael and Gert, that was one of the sweetest gifts, selfless, sweetest gifts I believe anybody has ever given me. And I really, really appreciate it. It blessed my heart, I'm telling you. And all of y'all, your response to it and to me has really blessed my heart. I really appreciate it, guys. Sometimes this these videos are two-way streets. I might inspire y'all to lose weight, but you might inspire me too, and not might, you do. And it's important. And these positive images and these positive words and these positive thoughts that we send each other change us deeply inside. And the reason they change us is that our mind, our brain filters out a lot of what's coming into us every day based on how we see ourselves. It really does. I had this brought home to me so strongly a few months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, when I woke up after sleeping and I was so dizzy that I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't put my clothes on. I couldn't go to the restroom without someone helping me. I started panicking inside, thinking that I was going to have a stroke, or I was having a stroke, or something majorly wrong was wrong with me. I was so scared that I called my daughter and had her come and get me and take me to the hospital. And it was, something was wrong with me, but my imagination run wild, and I went straight to the worst case scenario. Later on, after being at the hospital and being checked out and realizing that this was a inner ear problem called vertigo, I calmed down immediately. I even came home and started playing with the symptoms. Before I was terrified. Come home, I was playing with the symptoms to find out, what I could learn about them. Guys, a lot of times people write to me and they say, I'm struggling with this diet. I can't stick with it. I'm in trouble. Guys, the way to cure that is to get in your mind what it is that you want and get it in there good and strong, because our beliefs, what's inside of us, what we believe about ourselves to be true, will be the thing that guides you in getting to be successful. Because look, let's put it on the negative side. If you think that you're going to fail, then every little thing, every little temptation that comes by, every little cheat, every little anything will just reinforce that to you. Well, I'm failing. Every time you get on the scale and there's no weight loss, every time you have a bad day, then will be reinforcing of what's already there in your mind, that you're going to fail. And it saps your motivation, and it causes you to fail, because you don't believe you can be successful. Guys, if I could tell you anything that's more important, so many people argue over diets. Well, there's people that have lost weight vegetarian. They've lost weight eating potato, nothing but potatoes. They've lost weight on the low carb, high fat, which I highly recommend. They've lost weight doing any number of things. But the one thing that all these people had in common is they saw in their mind and in their life that they were going to be successful. They gave themselves the motivation to say, I will do this. And they saw in their mind who they were going to be when this happened. And so everything that came along that might have distracted them was rejected. Just like if someone had told me when I first got up that day with that vertigo, well, this is just an inner ear thing. It's okay. Well, I wouldn't have believed them because I'd already jumped to conclusions. Guys, when I first started this diet, and I've talked about this before, but I want to really hone you in on something. When I first started this diet, or really before, I made myself a little tape, and it had images and it had words, and I played that to myself day and night. I wanted to hear those words, see those images so many times that they got deeply ingrained in my head. And they turned into a guide for me. They turned into a thing that that filtered out the bad automatically for me. Because no, I'm not a failure. I am this guy that I have become. It's the guy that I had in my mind when I was heavy is the guy that I am now. Because my little tape, my little message that I gave to myself, had a lot more stuff in it than diet. It's what do you want to do with your life? And this is the person I'm going to become. And it is the person I already am. I'm just working into it, okay? You know, here I'm going to get a little bit philosophical, maybe a little religious. But to me, this is almost like a prayer. It's almost like a prayer because most people say prayer is like requesting and begging the divine God to do something for you. But I kind of see prayer as, I'm old enough to see, to remember TVs. Okay, the television set had a little dial on it, and it wasn't digital like it is today. You had to kind of fine tune that dial in. You might even have to go outside and turn the antenna just a little to get that perfect show to come on, perfect image on the TV to come in. There was some interference, and you'd have to dial it in. You see, the perfect show was out there in the atmosphere. It was already there for you to watch. But you had to find a way to fine-tune your television set to pick that image up. And guys, that is exactly how I see setting up one of these self-image things where you're talking to yourself positively. And also see that's how prayer is. When someone passes away, a lot of times they will recite the 23rd Psalm. And what is it? They wanted you to say it out loud because they want your mind to hear what your mouth is saying. Because your self-image and the beliefs that you have that filter out the world that you're in comes from hearing what's being said. And someone can say, well, everybody in our family has always been fat. And then, see, you're hearing that. Or all of our family gets diabetes. You're hearing that from a young age. Or you're ugly, or you're pretty, or you're stupid. See, those words are coming in, and images are being set up from those words. So you have to change it. And you have to change it by hearing something different of your own choosing. That's why I say prayer probably ought to be done out loud if you want to know the truth. So you can hear it. You can hear the words that's coming out of your mouth. And even if you're not religious, this works for anybody because our mind cannot take in everything that's going on. It takes shortcuts and it builds images. I mean, people can lay out on the yard and they'll see something in a cloud. They'll say that cloud looks like Abraham Lincoln, or that cloud looks like a sailboat. Our mind jumps to that. It jumps to patterns. So why not use that part of our brain that is pattern seeking, and it likes things to be simplified. Simplify for yourself. I mean, it's almost like you're writing your own program. That's exactly what it is, actually. Guys, that little program that I made for myself, where I listen to that, I can't not even tell you how much of that thing has become a reality for me in my life. It was prophetic. Why? Is it magic? I mean, there's an argument for that. It's magical in a way. But what it really is once you have this new image of who you are in your head, deeply ingrained in your head, then every single thing that comes along in your life, you say, yeah, there's evidence that I am one step closer to who I already am. Already. See, I could become Butter Bob when I was 300 pounds. It was right here. No one could see it, but I could see it. I could see it. And once I see it, once you see the new you, and I mean really see it, you will become that person. You will. Nothing will be able to stand in your way. Now, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I don't want to get too philosophical on you, but this is a part of me that I really like to stress, because I don't think that there's anything more important than what you believe. Period. What you believe is true about yourself becomes true. Goodbye. Thanks for everything.